Hey, good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Monday, April 14th, 2025. I want to welcome everybody. For those that don't know, my name is Rick. Good morning, Thomas, Julie, Alan, Donna. Good morning. Tammy. Let's see here. Tommy, Chip, Sonny, Joe. Thank you for being here. Devendra, JW. Thank you so much for being here. Here, let's get rid of that. And I want to remind everybody that John, one of our divisions of Hit Run Candlesticks is a day trading division, and John is over there. It's an open house today, so everybody is invited. I don't have a link just available right this second that I can post, but it's all over our social media. So go check it out. Go sit in with John for a little bit and see what he has to say, or see what he's doing in the day trading room. Talk to some of the members there, see what they have to say. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. All righty, let's get rid of a few things here. Like, I think I've got some music on somewhere. I can hear it. There we go. Let's stop that. There we are. Now let's go back over here and let's stop that. There we have a chart. It takes me a bit, but I'll get there. And good question where I go now. I kind of changed a few things here, and that was probably a mistake. Oh, okay. Well, let's do it this way. There we go. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I think I'm all squared away now. Thanks for your patience. All right. Hey, so for those that watched my Sunday edition of Charts and Targets, it's over there on YouTube if you're interested. And I'll kind of repeat a little bit what I said there, but not necessarily everything, because it was a bit longer. But right now, I think if you look at the SPY here, pretty much any chart, you'll see that if you're looking at moving averages, and I look at moving averages for my trend, or if you're just drawing trend lines, the bears still control this market. There's no question about it. Okay. The longer term, who knows? I'm not going to try to get in the longer term, but you can just watch, just take a look at that downtrend. Here, oh, darn it. Mondays, whoops, I don't want to do that. Monday's very disconnected with everything here. I've had 2 days off and I forget everything. But anyway, you see that downtrend line right there? We need to get over that. Here's price action right now. We're trying to move over. It looks like we're going to attempt to move over there today. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to come up right here, but it did. So let's fix this. I apologize, folks. Like I said, it's Monday, bear with me. There we go. All right. Now I feel comfortable. I can move my hands. I can't talk without my hands, by the way. And these arrows and lines, those are my hands. So downtrend line. The bulls need to clear that. And then we need to retest. And then maybe we can, talk a different game or have a different conversation. So the bears still have it. But on the short term, I think the bulls are in charge. I think on the short term, near term, and what is near term? I'll tell you what, when you figure out an answer to that one, you let me know. Near term will be until the next whatever comes out, whatever it is. Okay. Until then, I think the bulls do have it on the short-term side. So right now, be careful if you're holding those shorts. Now, overall, one thing we've got to be careful of is we move up and then we just start rolling over, because we are starting to get into a big resistance area. The truth of it is, from these lows up, this is pretty easy money right here. Pretty easy money. Now that we're bumping up against a little bit of resistance, the bulls are going to have to step it up just a little bit, and the bears are going to have to back down just a little bit. But the trick is to follow price action and follow trend. I think when if you ever get a chance to talk to seasoned traders that's been around for a while, they will tell you that all the indicators in the world, some are great, some are not. It all depends on you. But when it comes down to it, trading is all about the trend and price action. That's what it's all about. In the end, you can have all the backup stuff you want, but when you're looking at your chart and when you're looking at your money, what you're looking at is trend and price. You're looking at what candlesticks are doing, and you're looking at that. Are we trending up? Are we trending down? Are we running into that resistance? Or are we, falling into some support? So, do keep that in mind when you're looking at the chart here. Okay. If we take a look at the Qs, I think the Qs are doing a great job. Once again, short term, I think the bulls have it, but long term, the bulls are going to have to step up a little bit more. They're going to have to break out this area right through here. They're going to have to break out. They're going to have to test, and then they're going to have to show some bullishness. And once they do that, now we've got the 50 period moving average and the 200 period moving average to deal with. So there is lots of troubled waters ahead of us, but this is a good start. I was asked several times over the weekend, is this the bottom? For now, yes, it is. It is. For now, it is. But we don't know what's coming down the road. And right now, our market is being pushed around for reasons beyond the market that we don't know if something is going to happen and totally kill this market and take us below those lows. But as of April 14, 2025, that is the low. That's fact. And we need to break out of that downtrend to show that the bulls have the juice to pull us up to that 50 period moving average and to the 200. So I know one thing that a whole lot of people are looking at, and that's this right here. We've got the 50 period moving average crossing below the 200, which is called the death cross. And, it could be, but like all chart patterns, like all candlestick signals, nothing is 100%. I tell a lot of people, a lot of traders, I tell the trading room, trading is one of those things where 2 + 2 does not equal 4. And just because the 50 period moving average is closing or moving below the 200, while we call that the death cross, and while we have seen more downside, when we see downside, we notice these things, and then we put these labels on it. I'm not disputing what this is. What I am saying, though, is we need to watch price and make sure price agrees with that. This is just two moving averages, and it is in a downtrend, but price can overcome that downtrend. So we need to watch price. I'm not trying to be overly bullish. I'm just trying to point out the things here that we need to look at and talk about. You can see the same thing here on the SPY. Okay. All right. Let's quick look at the transports, because I think the transports are very important to this market. And you can see we've got our big bullish day here, our pullback that held up, and now we're trying to move up. Target up here is around 63.60 if the bulls can keep it going, and then we'll reevaluate at that level there. Let's see, SMH. IYT was below the 500 period moving average, and the SMH is traveling above the 500 period moving average. So I think that's a plus for SMH, but it doesn't mean that it's great balls of fire. It's going to be bullish. It's not what that means. You can still see that downtrend is here. We can see that price action is showing some bullish activity down here. So we need to have that follow through. We need to test. All right. A quick look at T2123, and then we'll look at some stocks. Friday, we never broke out and became bullish on T2123. Let's see what it does today. Maybe the bulls will step in and pop us up here, make us feel really good. It'll make me feel really good until it rolls back down. You can see over here the VIX Friday, we closed down a little bit. Let's see if that has some follow through to the downside. If you know what, let's come right over here and look at the VXX real quick. If you look at VXX overall, this is still a very bullish chart. We've got price that's up, price that's pulled back. You can see that price is still holding up here. It is currently above the T line, and we are above the trend indicator. So by that standard, we are still bullish. In the short term, it looks like some of the buyers are stepping away from it. But again, that's just pre-market. Let's see what happens by the end of the day. Okay. All right, let's take a look at PLTR. PLTR. There we go. PLTR. I know there's a few people here in Hit Run Candlesticks that are in it. Congratulations. You are rocking today. And, you know, I don't see any reason why it cannot continue to move higher. It's all about following that price and the price action. Okay. Would somebody let Jim know there to maybe click F5 or reset if he lost the room? Let's see here. So we've come from, if we measure from the tops over here, February 19, and we come down and take the low of April 7th, you can see that we've traveled up. And we are taking on our 50% retracement area. That's what those three lines compressed are right there. And you can see that we're over that 50-period moving average. I think that's monumental. I think that's fantastic. Now we just need to follow through. So typical, good old-fashioned trading, we're going to need to take out these highs over here, March 25th, to move higher. The next target up is going to be about this 110 area, but we need to take this area out. So typically what happens in a market or in a chart, here we are moving up. Let's assume that we break out. Well, you're going to need a test. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to test right away. It doesn't mean, we're going to break out one day and test the next day. We can move up another day and test. But I will bet you that we have some sort of a test, and it needs to hold this area. And then we can start looking for bullish activity up. If you're not in it, if you're in it, roll your stop up a little bit, enjoy your profits, and don't be afraid to take a little bit off this table, okay? Hey, for those that are looking at PLTR, and if you feel that you can't afford $94, some small accounts cannot, remember, you can trade stocks like PLTU, which is only $33, okay? The single stock ETFs are an amazing way, an amazing instruments to go out there and trade some of these bigger names, but at a more affordable price, especially for the smaller accounts. IBIT, is that right? Whoops, IBIT. Nope. What am I doing wrong? IT. There we go. IBIT is Bitcoin heading up here, coming off the lows. 50% retracement area is about 51. 50-period moving average is sitting here at about $50, and it looks like that's where we're headed to. So moving averages, they act as support. They also act as resistance. So as we move up, watch when we hit that 50-period moving average. And when I say hit, we might break through a little bit. It's just an average. The key word there is average. It doesn't mean like it's something precise. It's precisely the average is what it is. So watch for that move up, and then watch for the test. The test we could break out and test above it. We could hit it at the top and then pull back, and everybody in the world will be screaming blue ice failure, bears, bears, bears. Not necessarily. We need to watch what price does. Right now, I would say support around here at whatever that price is there. Watch for that. Doesn't mean that price is going to get there. And then wait for that buy signal. Probably should make that green. Wait for that buy signal. And now you've got yourself a low, high, higher low, and then watch for that higher high. So IBIT is on our watch list. NVDA. Everybody loves to talk about NVIDIA up until lately. And then NVIDIA has just become a big fat turd for everybody. Well, you know what? It just might come back into play. I don't think we should just throw it out the window just yet. Here we are bouncing over the 500 period moving average. Here we've rallied up, we've pulled back on big hammer day, and now we're setting up. Notice, see that pullback here? Let's do this. So we rally up. I know that awful lot of people screaming, oh, we're failing the 50 period moving average. Not, we are for this moment, I guess. So here we are down. We put in that higher low, and now we're seeing that follow through right there. Right here's the 50% retracement area. There's the 50 period moving average. So are we going to break through? Watch the candlesticks. Are we going to break through? Are we going to hold? Are we going to pull back a little bit? And if we pull back a little bit, again, it doesn't mean that we're failing the 50 period moving average. We're just not breaking through it today or tomorrow or whenever it decides to try. Okay. Follow price action, follow the trend. Hood. Anybody watching Hood? I know a few people like Hood. Hood is breaking out of that downtrend line. Looks like we're going to check out that 50 period moving average. It's the same old story. Follow price, follow the trend. Don't buy too high. We like the pullbacks. 3-8 trap is a favorite here at Hit Run Candlesticks, and those what we call a PBO, pullback opportunity. And a 3-8 trap is a pullback opportunity within a trend. Looking at Hood here, we're going to need to break out of that, we'll call it $50 area before we can move higher to that next target, which would be about $54, $55. Okay. On Hood, if you know, $45, maybe not. They have a single stock ETF, Robin. There's Robin at $13, $14 right now. And you can see that we're trending up. Prices above the trend indicator and the T line. T line is not yet, excuse me, not yet above the trend indicator. That's what I would like to see. But still, if you look at price action here and the short-term trend is moving up, that's starting to work. If we take a look at this on the hourly chart, there you go. You can see that hourly chart is working out absolutely perfect. We rally up from a low to a high, to a higher low, higher high, higher low. And it looks like we've made a higher high on Robin there. And that's what the line would be on the daily. How about some Google? I'm looking at a target up here, around that 50 period moving average, the 200, 173, 174 area. You can see we've broken out of that trend line. So what I'm going to be watching for on Google today is, can you hold here? And if Google can hold here, and if Google, as long as Google doesn't do that, you don't want to chase it, which I don't think it's going to do that. But now that we're up, if we can hold right here, I will look at adding to my Google and buying a new position in Google, moving up toward that 173, 174 area. Once again, if you find $160 or $160 a little too expensive, you can check out the single stock ETF. And here's GGLL, and it's trading at about $30 right now. And you can see it's moving up quite nice. Nice little bullish trend. We've come off that bottom, big bullish candle, moving sideways, couple of inside bars, And here we are moving up right now. Looks like we're going to challenge that $30.50 area. Once we break there, then the next target will be up here about 35 bucks, 50 period moving average, and the 500 period moving average. Notice Google has made the death cross, right? So here's the thing. If the death cross and if all bearish setups, head and shoulders, things like that, they are only bearish for a period of time. And then we have reversals. I mean, think about it. If you never had reversals, we wouldn't have a stock market. So according to, you know, all the dark side people, and I'm not trying to be overly bullish. I'm really not. I'm just trying to point out, just because it's that bearish death cross doesn't mean that it's going to go to zero. It doesn't work that way. Some stocks might, but Google's not going to. So what we're going to do is wait for that reversal. Is this, well, probably should, there we go, go to Google. You know, is this the reversal area? As far as April 14, 2025 goes, yes, it is. We have a bottom and we've broken out of that trend line. Now it's got a lot of work to do before it fixes this up here, but this is what charts do. Now, is this going to be the case over the next 10, 15, 20 days? We'll see. We'll see. Microsoft is doing fantastic. It's another one that has broken out of that downtrend line. As of today, there's the bottom. We have broken out. We have tested, and now we're testing the 50 period moving average. So once we get through that, or even right in through here is, I would call a buy area for myself. There's the dotted deuce, the modified 200, and there is the 200 period moving average right there, sitting at about 419. So those are the targets that I'll be looking for on the way up. For anyone that's in gold, watch for the pullback. Watch for that 3-8 trap setup. For somebody that, where is it? Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Dooby-Dooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo. Did I take it off? Well, yeah. Well, I must have taken it off. The 3 EMA, we're looking for a pullback to just below the 3 EMA, above the T line, then the buy signal, and then that would be set up to buy again. That would be the 3-8 trap. There is a 3-8 trap right there. There is a 3-8 trap right there. Here's another one, 3-8 trap that had no follow through. So, you know, doesn't matter what chart pattern you're looking at, doesn't matter what candlestick pattern you're looking at, you have failures in trading. Again, in trading, 2 + 2 does not equal 4. I don't care how many times you add it up. Every now and then it does, but not every single time. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, I kind of went on here. If anyone has any charts you'd like to take a peek at, please let me know. Please let me know. Good morning, Rickster. OKTA, setting up, coming off the 200 period moving average, big pop up. Looks like we're moving sideways over the 50. This would be a 3-8 trap breakout. So a 3-8 trap breakout, you've got a standard 3-8 trap, and then you've got a 3-8 trap of the high. And you can have a 3-8 trap on both those, and then you can have a 3-8 trap breakout on both of those. This is looking like a 3-8 trap high breakout close to me. I'll have to put my, I don't know what I did up here. I must have taken my 3 off. I don't know why I did that. Really don't. Looks like we're running into a little bit of that resistance up there. So we just need that follow through. Pretty simple. Let's get rid of this line here. Let's come over here and let's put this 50% retracement. You can see that once the low is in, then we start looking for that 50% retracement as a target. Once we clear that and show positive trading over the 50% retracement, then we can go up to that next quadrant line, which is about 110, 50. You can fine tune it with price action, and then the next line up here would be the top at about 117. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it. See, I'm looking at the scanner here. See if anything is popping up pre-market. Everything's already kind of moved up. Oh, here's one GRPN that I pointed out to members near the end of the day Friday as a possible one for the watch list. This is a weekly chart, and we've got this bullish engulf. See how we rallied up and pulled back? Your 3-8 trap is right in here. There's your breakout. If you look at the weekly chart, look how we're putting in this nice reversal pattern in here. Here we're down, long-term consolidation. And once we start to break out, watch for that 31, 30. Let's just make it an even $30. Watch for that $30 area up there. That's over 50%. So keep an eye on GRPN. All right, that's about all the time I have for today. I want to thank everybody very, very much. Remember that John has his open house today. Public is invited, so please, everyone, go over there. Say hi to John. Take a look at what he offers in day trading over there. Talk to the current members, see what they have to say. I think that's one of the most important things you can do. Until a little bit later, actually 20 minutes, we'll see everybody at the bottom of the hour when the market opens up. Thank you a bunch. You guys take care.